Good morning, class 9. We have already discussed about the capital, and you know the meaning. It is clear. What is the meaning of capital? All those man-made goods which are used for the further production, that is considered as a capital. And the examples are factory buildings, train, trucks, raw materials, and the machines are the example of capital. Now today children, we will discuss about the classification of capital, or the types of capital, or the forms of capital. First one, we will discuss about the fixed and the circulating capital. Listen, I have underlined the highlights so you just able to understand it. First one, fixed capital. Fixed means fixed. We cannot say that we are using just now and afterwards we cannot use it. Fixed means we can use as a producer for the longer period. Suppose 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. So what it means that we can use the fixed capital again and again. And the examples are machines, office furniture, factory buildings, etc. So is it clear? Fixed capital, the type of capital which is used again and again for further production of goods. So these things are there. So when we start the production of any goods, we can use for the longer period. Professor Hicks has used the term durable use. Durable means you can use it for the longer period. So what happened? The producer can use it. So it's a producer's side. So this is also called the fixed capital is considered as a durable use producer goods. Then circulating capital, which is used in production only once. That is, suppose raw material is there, fuel is there. You cannot use the raw material again and again. You cannot use the fuel again and again. Is it clear? So that is the thing which can use only once. That is also considered the producible single use goods. Is it clear? Raw material, fuel, etc. are some goods example of circulating capital. Now we are coming to the second point, that is the sunk capital and floating capital. Sunk and floating. So what is the difference between the sunk and the floating? First one, sunk is that which can be put on a single use. The thing which can be used for the single purpose. Here they have given the example of the machine. That is the, you can say specialize is there. Specialization is there. Suppose they have given the printing machine. So what happened? The printing machine only can print it. Where it is fixed, so it will be only print the things. Then circulating means, floating means the things which can be used for another purpose also. Suppose they have given the example of typewriter. You can use it in the office also. You can use it in the factory also. Any other things. So floating capital is other hand which is put for several use. Company shifts from one area to production on the another. Then remunerative and auxiliary. Remunerative means rewards are there. Rewards in the form of money. When the worker is doing the work or giving the services and we are giving the money. So that is considered as a reward. And it is considered as a remunerative reward. Auxiliary means all man-made goods. Auxiliary means man-made. It's not the free gift of nature. It is a man-made which is made by the man, like machines, equipments, raw materials, etc. that help labor to produce the goods. So is it clear? Remunerative means when the worker is doing the work and the person is getting the money in the form of money, whatever the rewards are there, that is considered as remunerative. And the auxiliary means when these things are there and which is help to the labor to do the production of any goods. So examples, you just click payment of food or clothes, raw material, machine tools, payment of wages to worker. Then material and personal capital. Material and personal. Material capital consists of those capital which are tangible, which are in tangible form. You know the meaning of tangible, that is the you can see, you can touch, and you can move from one place to another, so which can be transferred from one person to another. Stationery, machinery, tools, examples are there. And the personal capital, some of the things are personal, you cannot shift, you cannot give to the another person. Is it clear? Suppose you are a good painter, so your painting is very good, so it's your personal capital, you cannot transfer. Suppose you say, okay, I will give this capital to my friend or to my mummy or to my sister. No, it's not possible, it's your personal. If you are a good singer, it's your personal. So art of writing, art of painting, etc., it's your personal capital. Then money capital, real capital, and debt capital. As you know, children, money itself is not a means of production. If you are having the money, you cannot start the production. Money can buy the things, but money itself cannot do anything. However, money can be used for buying capital goods like machines and raw materials. It would not be wrong to treat the money used for this purpose as capital. Then we are coming to the next point, real capital. Real capital refers to the physical stock. Physical means you can see it. Machines, tools, these are the things you can see, physical stock, which can be used as inputs in a production process. Suppose you can manufacture anything. So machine, factory, buildings, raw material, these are the things which can be considered as the inputs. Treat real example, capital, and this is called the concrete capital. The contribution of real capital towards to increase in national output of any country is certainly more important than the money capital. Now what happened? Why we are saying that national production or the national income or output will increase? Because there is a production of the things, and when the production of the things or the units are producing, it means the national output is increasing. Money cannot increase the national income or national output, but by the help of the money we buy the goods, capitals, and then we can produce it, and then the national output can be come. Towards the increase in national debt capital. Debt capital consists of titles of wealth like share, debentures, government promissory notes. Government promissory notes means government just promise it that after 5 years or after 10 years, suppose you are giving the 5 lakh rupees or 10 lakh, so after promissory the government will just promissory notes will give that when you are giving the 10 lakh rupees this year, and after 10 years I will give you the 12 lakhs rupees. So 2 lakhs will be the interest of the when you paid. When you will, the maturity will be there, then you will receive it. So that is the promissory notice then. They represent investment funds and yield income. Yield means productive income. So whatever the income is there, government is just used for the productive purpose. Is it clear? For example, individual investors fund in purchasing IDBI, Flexi bonds, ICICI bonds, etc. in our country, then he will earn fixed interest income on the value of those bonds. Is it clear? Already we have discussed about it. Then we are coming to the production and consumption capital. Production capital includes all those things which help in the labor directly in production. Raw material, machines. Consumption means when we are consuming it. Is it clear? So consuming means directly help in the process of production. Suppose now we are just doing the anything. If we are not healthy, we are not having the good environment, we are not having the good clothes, or the where you are working area is not hygienic point of view is not good. So what happened? It affects the working. So things should be good. Then what happened? That we can do the more production of any goods when the facilities are there. If the facilities are not there, we are not able to do the more production of, or we cannot do the more work. Is it clear? Then internal and external capital. Internal means inside, or external means exit means outside. The capital which is the result of domestic saving, domestic is within the boundaries. So domestic savings in the country is called the internal capital. Within the boundaries, whatever the saving is there, that is we consider as a internal saving made by households, firms, etc. Capital which is imported from abroad. Abroad means from outside or the foreign country, are used by the recipient country, is called the external capital. The capital received in India from the World Bank, International Finance Corporation, example of external capital. Now we are coming to the money. So we have discussed about the types of capital. Is clear. Now we are coming to the money. The word money, when it comes in our mind, it means paper currency. Coins are there. And what we are thinking, when we are having the money, we can purchase anything. Is it clear? So money that is acceptable by the people in every area within the boundaries. Some of the things are there. Suppose the rupees is there. So rupee is considered in India, whether you are going north or east or west or south, anywhere, no one can deny it. It's a legal, it's a government's legal tender money is there, and every person will accept it. If you are just going to the Assam area, you just give the 100 rupees and you can take the anything. If you are having the 2000 note, you just give that 2000 note and you can purchase anything. You can buy anything, you can purchase anything, whatever you want, but within the boundaries. As you cross the boundary, you have to convert your rupees into the another. Suppose you are going to the America, so you have to change it in dollars. Is it clear? Then you can use them. You cannot use the rupees in the America, and neither American can use the dollar in India. They have to convert the dollar into rupees here in India, then they can spend the money. So is it clear? The money is which is general acceptability is there and no one can deny it.